Runes and Runewords are back in Diablo 4 with the Vessel of Hatred expansion, allowing you to augment your equipment with combinations of runes that transform into runewords and give you additional abilities and as a currency for crafting specific mythic unique items. In this video, I'll walk you through everything you need to know about runes and runewords, including where to farm them as well, and new runes in the coming season. By the way, you can only access and use runewords if you own the Vessel of Hatred expansion. Anyway, if you do not own the expansion yet, you still can enjoy the video. You will unlock the Runewords mechanic during the main Vessel of Hatred quest line, during the Madman Crown quest that takes you to speak to Ormus in the council chamber. After speaking to him, you receive a briefing on the Runeword mechanic, and an initial set of runes to begin experimenting with. Runewords are created by socketing 2 runes into a piece of equipment, 1 rune of Ritual and 1 rune of Invocation. Rune of Ritual appear with a tab on the bottom, while Rune of Invocation appear with a slot on top for the rune to fit together. The Rune of Ritual, highlighted in yellow, generates offering when you perform a certain action, such as using evade or casting an ultimate. The Rune of Invocation, highlighted in purple, activate various powerful effects or buff when you reach a certain offering threshold. For example, a Ritual rune might give you 75 offerings every time you evade, and an Invocation rune might grant you 2.5 primary resource after generating 5 offerings. So with this rune words, every time you evade, you gain resources. Some runes of Invocation have overflow effects. Overflow occurs when you generate more offerings than the Rune of Invocation needs to trigger it. In this case, you want to make sure that your Rune of Ritual generates more offerings than the Invocation effects need. For example, the Rune of Invocation, Thorn, casts the Sorcerer Meteorites, with an overflow effect of increased meteorite spawn. It requires 20 offerings to cast. If you have a Ritual rune paired with it that divides evenly into 20, such as a rune that generates 5, 10 or 20 offerings, you will never get more than 1 meteorite whenever this generates. The trick here is to pair it with a Rune of Invocation that generates 100, 200 or even more offerings to increase the number of meteorite it generates through overflow the offering for Thorn rune. This gives you much more effects for the investment. This system is incredibly customizable and even let classes to use abilities not normally available to them. For example, a Spiritborn can trigger a Barbarian Warcry, a Rogue can use a Sorcerer Mystical Frost Nova, and a Sorcerer can use the Spiritborn Concussive Storm, and all combination of classes and abilities available via runes in between. Because runewords are made out of 2 parts, and because they are socketable items, you must have a piece of gear with 2 sockets available to create a runeword. This means it is only possible for gear of the helm, chest, legs, and 2-handed weapon can be imbued with a runeword. All other item types can only have a maximum of 1 socket. And single rune do not work alone. You must have 2 runes in a 2-slot items for them to have any effects. You can increase the number of sockets on your gear at the jeweler by visiting the jeweler in any major town and tap over to the Add Socket tab. It requires some gold and material, but it will help you to meet the 2 socket requirement for runewords. When you have combined a runeword made up of both runes, you notice a purple square on your buff bar next to your health. As you generate offerings, this purple box fills up. When you fill up the box, the associated runeword effect will trigger. If you have 2 runewords equipped, you will gain 2 separate boxes on your list of current buffs, which track each runewords offering built up separately. And here's something you may want to take note. You can only equip up to 2 pairs of runes at once, so you can only have 2 runewords active simultaneously. You cannot equip the same rune twice, meaning if you have 2 runewords equipped, you can only use 4 different runes. Runes can be found in the Socketable tab, where they can stack with runes of the same type and can be traded. If you happen to find some really rare rune and you don't need it, you can sell it to other players and earn some good amount of gold. Runes can be unsocketed at the jeweler, or simply dragging a new Ritual or Invocation rune to the appropriate slot to replace runes at no cost. If you salvage an item that contains runes, the runes will return into your Socketable inventory tab. Don't sell an item with inserted rune to a vendor if you want to keep the runes. If it falls off the buyback screen, it is lost forever. No! You can combine 3 of the same runes to create a new one at the jeweler if you have too many copies of a single rune, allowing you a chance at obtaining your desired rune. The new rune will always be different from the one you traded off, and when using magic or rare runes, there is a small chance that you might even obtain a rune of a higher rarity. Runes are also used in mythic unique crafting to create a specific mythic unique items instead of a random one. Runes drop from a variety of sources, such as dungeon bosses, certain campaign bosses, Dark Citadel, Helltide chests, Whisper caches, treasure goblins, and seasonal rewards. However, there are some guaranteed sources as well. Defeating world bosses will guarantee to drop at least 3 runes. It is a decent source of runes as you can get several runes at once. So make sure to participate when it is about to start and don't miss the world boss event. It only happens every 3 hours 30 minutes. You can visit website like helltide.com to see when is the next world boss will spawn, so then you can camp for it. Taking on Uber bosses is another good way of farming runes, as they have high chance of dropping rune upon defeated. However, summoning them requires force summoning material, so you need to farm the material first before you can farm runes on Uber bosses. Whisper caches will also drop at least 1 rune, regardless of any type of caches. You can efficiently acquire these caches by completing bounties for the Tree of Whisper, which doesn't take long. This method allows for a steady and relatively quick accumulation of runes. However, it remains to be seen how the quality of the cache affects the rarity of the runes obtained, with speculation about legendary caches potentially yielding better chance for legendary runes. Clearing Stronghold for the first time in Vessel of Hatred will drop you a rune. The runes guaranteed to drop will only be magic quality. Although it is magic quality, this may seem less valuable at first glance. They can be quite useful. Magic runes often provide substantial offering for simple conditions, such as drink a health potion, cast evade, cast an ultimate skill, and many more. You may consider farm Stronghold to collect these lower tier runes and potentially trade them out for rare or legendary variants. This also makes the Stronghold more valuable than you think. However, you cannot use the same character to clear the same stronghold repeatedly. You may keep an eye on the bartering vendor, which might offer you an augment cache in the stock. The augment cache has a small chance to contain runes, so you may try your luck if you have Pale Mark to spare. However, you need to level out Orkin to report level 8 to unlock augment cache in the bartering vendor stock. Another way to get runes is by using Seeding Opals, specifically the Seeding Opal of Socketable. It increases the drop rate of gem fragments from enemies and more importantly, provides a chance for enemies to drop runes as well. This makes it an effective tool for target farming runes while also benefiting from other advantages such as XP gain and reputation progress with the Sacrum Remnant. Offering a tribute of harmonies in Curious Undercity runs can drop you runes upon completion of the dungeon with at least attunement rank 1. This method provides a rare instant of certainty in runes acquisition, which guarantees that you will get 100% of the runes at the end of Curious Undercity run, and increases the probability of high level runes appearing. And lastly, you can expect 3 new runes available in the coming Season 7, 2 runes of Ritual and 1 runes of Invocation. There will be more combination of rune words. You can tailor your own playstyle and optimize your character potential. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you find it helpful and had a blast watching. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more Diablo 4 contents coming your way. Let me know in the comment what did you like to see next or if you have any question, and I will catch you up in the next one. Keep gaming and stay awesome. Peace out.